Alright, gonna work on the old Craftsman tractor here. Like I say, I want to check the valves, check the clearance on them, so gonna take the carburetor off. I slid you guys over as much as I could. You're right up against the car, and still the light is on that side of the engine. So what I'm gonna do is I hooked up a little light here, and hopefully it'll add a little light for you. Let's see. Oh yeah. How's that? It's gonna have to do, right? Alright, let me get some vice grips and we'll crimp off at the gas line. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is get a pair of vice grips and clamp this hose. And when you do that, you don't want to make these that are so tight. Where you at? You over here? I'm coming up here. Yeah, leave a little gap. You know, you just want to keep it so that the gas doesn't flow. You don't want to crush it. Now, got one of these clamps. Slide that down. My Chinese pliers. I had these Chinese pliers for about 45 years. I kind of like them. You know, it's one of them deals where you're in the auto store, Pep Boys or something like that, and they got a bin with tools for $1 or 50 cents or something. And I picked up a couple of these, and they've served me well over the years. But then again, anything made back then was a little better than it is now. Matter of fact, I'll still use them. I'll grab this. See if I can grab this. There we go. We got it. Just a little bit of fuel in the line there. We'll stick that back here. And I guess the next thing I'll do is, I can't get a, can you guys see that? I can't get a wrench on that. I'll have to get a screwdriver for that. Alright, I'm not going to move you guys and let you stay over there. Just got to get this off with a screwdriver here. I didn't want to take off the muffler, but it looks like I might have to because the screw is actually behind the shroud. I bet you if I take these two bolts out, I'll be okay. Alright, I'm going to get a wrench. Yeah, this looks like it's just a cover to protect the carburetor. You know what? It's probably actually a muffler bolt too. I know what you're saying, get a socket, but it's so loose here. And the toolbox is way the hell over the other side of the garage. I think I may wind up taking that muffler off anyway, because I think the only thing holding it is this bolt right here. I'll leave it there for now. Oh, okay. Alright. Get the other bolt here now. Alright. That's all that's holding it on, other than some rubber. Got a couple rubber things back here. And some linkage. Let me look that over and maybe I'll pull it off. Okay. Actually, you have a small bracket here holding the back of this 5/16. There we go. It's on there pretty good. And then all you have it hold on is the linkage and that little rubber boot. Okay. Got that off. Now, I didn't want to do that because I don't know where that went. That's one linkage. And then here's a linkage and a spring. Okay. And we're off. I just have to look at this, see where this went. Son of a gun. Oh wait, I think I feel it. There's like a little shaft that goes up and down on. Okay. We'll figure it out. We always do. That's your choke. Your choke butterfly there. Okay, get this out of the way. And now, what we're going to do is get that out of the way. And take this cover off here. Alright. Alright. Move you guys over. Give you a better view. But I might be in your light. You see where I keep casting a shadow here, so I'm going to try to stay out of it. It's a little 5/16 screw on the top here. And then it should be on the bottom. I can't even see that well myself. Try to take this off without ruining that gasket because I don't have one. Alright, I'm going to shut these off, so I'm going to have to play with this a little bit. I'm trying to talk up, I keep forgetting you guys are way back here. Alright, I've got a screwdriver behind it and I sort of popped it out. The gasket. It's always that way. The gasket is half it's stuck on the back, half it's stuck on the front. Oh, I broke it. Broke it, but broke it in a good spot. If there's such a thing. Broke it around the bolt. Alright, I don't see any parts, but I'll tell you what I do see. Oh, interesting. It might have to do with the way it's running. I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to take these off the tripod and show you this. Pretty interesting. Alright, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing for the first time. First off, what looks very strange to me, I'm going to try and get a light on there. You see that top valve? It looks like I'd call it the intake. Look how bent and twisted that is. And it looks like, you know, it's riding on top of the valve, and then looks like it might have worked its way into the aluminum. It almost looks like it's embedded in there. So that don't look right. That should be straight. And I don't know. I've never had this valve cover off. So sorry if I moved the camera because I was trying to look and see what was going on. But look at the valve spring holder on the bottom, how thick that is, and then up top here you have like a little skinny thing. I don't know what's going on there, but something don't look right. And then I'll turn that light out and put this one on. Oh, that one is on. Alright. Now I'm going to try and keep this in focus. I see some kind of metal down here. Feels like it's been there for a while. So I'm going to take that out. But like I say, something doesn't look right here. And I'm going to check it. I'm going to check, see if the valves have the right clearance, but we're definitely going to have to do something about that valve spring, the way that's sitting. Alright, I'm going to take the muffler off. It's only been held on by one bolt up here. And I'm going to have to take the head off anyway. But let me take the... I should have done that earlier, huh? Let me take the spark plug out of there so there isn't any compression, so I can turn this by hand. Alright, and then I'll lower you down and we can look at these valves. It's going to blow your mind. Alright, I tried to put some light on there and set you down here with me, so I took the spark plug out so I could turn the thing. Turn the flywheel here. Alright. I want you to look up here on the intake. The intake is supposed to be 5 thousandths to 7 thousandths. And I don't know if you can see this. I know you got a bad reflection there. So I'll spin this a couple times. There you go. Maybe you can see that. Alright, this is 5 thousandths. Alright. Now if you watch the valve, the bottom one's going up. Alright, now the top one's going up. So I'm going to back it down. And right there you should have a gap. Now this is 5 thousandths. I don't try to keep my hand out of the way so you stay in focus. And then things, there's absolutely no clearance at all. It's crazy. I don't know how this thing was running. Alright, that's the smallest it can go, and I can't even get it in the smallest. Alright, now let's go back to the bottom. Alright. Right now the bottom, the exhaust is 9 thousandths to 11 thousandths. And this is 8 thousandths here. I don't know if you can see that either. Bad reflection. Take my word for it. Here you go. I think you can see it right there. Okay. But anyway, this is 8 thousandths. This is smaller than the smallest that it's allowed, and it's not even close. Can't get it in there at all. Could get the 5 thousandths in there. So what we got is about 5 thousandths clearance on that. But still, I mean, this is way out of whack. So I'm going to have to take the head off, take the valves out, and grind them down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to grab you, so hold on, you're going to be a little shaky. And maybe, well, let me take off this. Here we go. I don't know if you can see in there, but the intake is a little crusty. Not bad though, not bad at all. And actually, exhaust looks pretty good. I can't bend these down far enough. But anyway, I'm gonna have to take them out and look them over, and then inspect that cover, see why it's all ground in like that. All right, let me take the head off. All right, I'm gonna take the head off here. 8 bolts. Hitting this little shroud comes off with it. They weren't all that tight. Alright, let me unbolt all these and we'll turn these back on. You know, sometimes I buy tools and I forget I even have them. And in this case, it's these here. You can see them. They're like a 1/4 inch, 3/8 1/2 inch drive, and the other end goes into a screw gun. So that'll speed that up. I'll even show you. I'll show you taking the head off. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I forgot I had them, and I was just over there in the toolbox. I seen them. I'm not sure. I think I might got to do some Harbor Freight, but if I find a link for something like this, I'll put it in the description. I know you guys like that. All right. Now let's try this. I've seen this at NASCAR. I might even leave them. That looks like they're all the same size bolts. And you got these down here. I loosen them. Yep. That's why they're on the bolt. Alright. Just like that. And our head should come off. Hopefully. Oh! There you go. Huh. Oh shit. I don't know if I ruined the gasket. I think I did. Yeah, I ruined the gasket. Unless, when we put this back on, we did replace this gasket. And I think we might have, no. I was going to say, I think we might have put it back on with shellac, but we didn't. Alright, that's something else I got to get, head gasket. Wow. cylinder looks beautiful. Considering how I treat this thing, I'm going to take you guys off of that and show you inside this cylinder wall. Unbelievable. Alright, check the inside of the cylinder out. I'll give you some light. Look at that, perfect. That brown is just oil. There we go. Beautiful. Like I say, I'm surprised. The way I treat this thing, I'm surprised it's in good shape as it is. Alright. You know, my back is already starting to hurt me from bending over. You know, I'm practically on the floor here. What I need is one of them little lifts, like Musty One has or something like that. Problem with that is I don't use it every 32 years, right? And I don't think Road King has 32 years left. Alright, let's take them valves out. Alright, I've got a valve spring compressor here. It's actually made for this, you know. This doesn't have a name on it. Sometimes you see BRIGGS names on them and stuff like that. But this is probably just a brand X, but it's good. I mean, heavy duty. I usually just use them for putting valve springs in, but in this case, I think I'm going to use it to take these out. See this? These outside things, they widen for the size spring you want, and then you clamp it down. And then it takes a little finesse. This here actually opens and closes it. So, like I say, it takes a little finesse, but once you get to find out where the ends are at, you just push it and it'll go right in, and then you tighten down on it. So, most guys could just take a screwdriver in there and pop that out and then send the other one down. Oh yeah, remember before I said this one here has something on the bottom and the one on top didn't? I think I was researching that a little bit, and I think it's called a rotator. I think that might help rotate the valve. I don't know why both of them don't have it, but they don't. So I'm going to shut you off because it's going to take a little finagling and playing around, and we don't need to waste your time. Alright, I don't know how well you guys could see, but I have the spring. Alright, I got a little flashlight on you to try and lighten things up for you, but I got this on. You see how loose the spring is? The spring is actually compressed. And now, I don't like these. This one here has like a little collar in there, and then once you get them collars out, it's going to take a little playing with. That's why I like the older engines. They just have a pin through there. I guess this is supposed to be easier, but let me dick around with that and get that collar out of there. Alright, I don't know if you can see it, but I got one of them out. Man, caught hell. Here it is, here, right here. Where you at? Come here. Caught hell getting that bitch out of there. I don't know, there's probably a trick to it, and guys like Zippo Varga and Bruce, they probably know, Bruce Penner, they probably know how to do it. But Road King don't know how. There, the other one looks like it's ready to fall out. There you go. Just fell out. Ay, ay, ay. Give me an old Briggs any day. Alright, now you should be able to just pull that bitch out. There you go. Huh. Wow. It's in very good shape. Very good shape. Okay. And here's how the spring was. And then what you do, so I'm going to have to use this for the top. You just loosen this up, and it'll I'm having a tough time. I got you guys zoomed all the way in, that's why. You just unscrew this, and then your spring is good to go. There you go. Alright, the top one shouldn't be that tough. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, this one was a whole lot easier. All I had to do was turn that valve and that keeper to a certain direction, and then just hit it with the screwdriver, and it actually pushed it out of the little groove it's supposed to be in. So here's the, I'm going to call that the intake, only because that's what it is. And that don't look too bad at all either. That'll clean up nice. And I'll I'll take that spring out and I'll show you how I took it off. Alright, here's the bottom of the keeper here. I'm going to try and keep you in thing. You see the way it's oblong? Well, it actually goes like that, and then it just hooks on to the tiny end, keep it from falling off. So if you get that in the right position and hit it, then it'll come right off. So we lucked out there. Alrighty. Alright, here are the two valve springs. You usually don't have to worry about mixing them up because the exhaust is always harder, always stronger than the intake. And in this case, I don't know if you can see that, but you can't because my finger's in the way. Oh! Let me get that. Excuse me. Right, in this case, I'm trying to hold these with one hand. There we go. In this case, the intake is a little bit longer. I've never seen that. They've always been pretty equal, the ones I've dealt with. Okay, there's another thing I want to show you. Remember I said that it looked like it was embedded, it was digging into that? It wasn't. You know, the inside wall was absolutely perfect. I don't know why it was twisted like that and bent. Pretty odd. But then, I also told you that I seen some metal in there. And where are you at? Oh, God only knows where this came from, or what it belongs to. But it looks like it's pounded to shit. Then there was another little piece. Got a little piece here, right on my fingertip. So, I'm going to leave that aside there, and then we'll try and figure out what that is. I don't see anything in there, though. Alright, let me go clean them valves up on the wire wheel. Alright, I brought you over the bench, raised you up here, and this is the exhaust. And the back end really isn't too bad here. You can actually see like a sort of a bevel. So it was beat up, but not too bad. Now this is another story. This one here, there is no bevel on the end. You know, you see a small bevel, but I mean there was supposed to be another one. And you can actually feel it. You know, it's sharp. So what we're gonna have to do is hit that on a grinder over there, the sander, and bring that down probably 5 thousandths or so. Alright, but overall they're in real good shape. Looks like they were seating all around. That's good. I didn't look at the valve seats on the mower, but these sure look pretty good. Alright, let's clean them up. Enough rambling. Alright, these things cleaned up pretty good. Those look like they've been run hot at one time. Probably a lot of times. Almost looks blue. I don't know if you can see that. But they seem to be okay. I don't know if you can see that. But let me see if I can zoom these in here. Probably not, but we're going to try. It says I in there for intake. And then over here it has a T. Somebody tell me what that T means. Could it possibly mean top? And this is the bottom, top and the bottom? Could they have done that? Tell me what that T means. Because they did the same thing on this one. This has I don't know if you can see, I'll keep doing that so maybe you can catch it off the reflection. But anyway, this has an X for exhaust. And then down here it has a T. Somebody tell me what that T means. Actually, it's funny because the exhaust is in much better shape than the intake, but they're both good enough to reuse. Alright, I don't know how long this video is getting. I'm going to go check, and if we have a little bit of time, maybe we'll put something else on it, but if not, then it'll be enough for this. Alright, see you guys later.